News.
Lamide.
Good morning, Veronica.
Good morning.
It's splendid this morning.
And you too. Today is Women's Wednesday, an all-women affair this morning. But our focus for today is World Food Day, and the focus is on the rights to food. And not just access to food, but nutritious and culturally accepted food. We'll be looking at that. And then we're also looking at this matter between Nigeria and Libya, talking about the Super Eagles and the Libya Football Federation and all of the matters around it, be it legal, international, diplomatic, all the dimensions around it. And then we're also going to look at the culture of maintenance, what we can do to improve on that, and so many other issues. But first, let's begin with this story, where food is the third most basic human need after air and water. Yet, over 700 million people are facing hunger in the world due to repeated weather shocks, conflicts, economic downturns, and inequality. This information comes from the Food and Agriculture Organization, that's FAO. The theme for this year is Right to Food for a Better Life and Better Future, which emphasizes the right to a diverse and nutrient-rich diet that is affordable, accessible, and safe for everyone. It also serves as a reminder that achieving food security relies on sustainable agricultural practices, which can help protect our ecosystem, reduce greenhouse gas emissions, and promote biodiversity. We are joined in the studio by Adeola Faruk, who is the Chief Operating Officer and Head of Programs at Food Click Support Initiative. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, good morning.
It's good to have you.
With the beautiful ladies this morning.
Yes, thank you for acknowledging that. Anyway, let's talk food and the matters around it. For over 70 years, we have been celebrating this day, and yet the matter of food still remains a reoccurring issue that needs to be addressed head-on. And most persons do not even know that access to food is a right, really, especially when it's nutritious. But talk to us, as a country now, how far we have come with regards to addressing matters of access, affordability, and even having not just food on the table, but nutritious food?
That's a very interesting question. We are still very far off, to be honest with you. The SDG goals about zero hunger should be achieved by 2030. That's about 6 years from now.
Yeah.
But from the time we've been struggling to ensure that everyone have rights to good food and also the affordability, we're still very far from it. And these are because of basic things that a lot of us don't put, cognizance into. The government have got their own part to play, so also are individuals. But when you look at it in entirety, you begin to understand that farmers at this point in time, don't have those access, the right, to farm just the way they would have loved to. The roads are bad, security is also part of the issue, and that's why in the country right about now, every food, talking about be it rice, be it tomato, be it yam, the prices have gone up. Not just that, you're talking about affordability and also the access to it. Both are being denied right about now. And like you have said in your intro, three things are very, very important, which is food, water, and also air. And food has to be the third one on it. But unfortunately, in a country where we have so much, the lands are there, we are, the technology to also farm are also there, but we are just not taking the advantage of what we have around us. And Nigeria is a very, very fertile land. Unfortunately, things are not done appropriately. So we just need to look into so many things just to bring everybody together, just like a circle.
Yes,
a chain.
It's an ecosystem.
Once a chain is missed, honestly, then everything goes back to zero.
Let me still stay on this matter of, you mentioned the issue of government not doing what is necessary, and the people too, because the people also have a responsibility. So talk to us about the people's responsibility and what we are not doing right. I mean, if government is not doing what it should do, the people shouldn't fold their arm.
Well, going with those days when agricultural practices are very, very, are things that people just relate with. Then, you can see secondary school children, even students, easily practice agri back then, in the school, the farm, the school premises. But now, when even the topic agricultural science is not even important in secondary school. Some students don't even do it at all. Some students don't even have that basic knowledge around it. And we don't make farming, which is always going to be something that is very, very primary to us, not important. Then we begin to struggle with that. A lot of people, just an example is that if your kid comes to you at home and say, "Yeah, mom, I want to be a farmer," the eyes you look at him like, Are you all right? In all of the things around here, you don't want to be a TV presenter, you don't want to be an engineer, a doctor, and the list of it is farmer. But unfortunately, it is very, very important. So if you and I can start producing our own food right from our own house, and also at least start selling to one or two around, then we're already contributing to ensuring that there's no food scarcity, there's availability of food. But so many people's minds are away from that because of how educational system has unfolded in the last couple of years. I just urge the government to put emphasis and ensure that agricultural science, basic knowledge about farming, is it's restored back to school academics so that a lot of people can know exactly that it's not just that you have to study it. It's also very, very important that if you're an engineer can as well, meddle those things together. But we're way, way far from it because those things are not important anymore to us in our educational curricula.
And beyond just availability, it will seem as though the theme of this year is focusing on healthy eating habits, consuming good food. It says that the right to a better life and a better future, which obviously, determine the future of a nation. So in terms of how far we've come as regards quality food, quality of what we consume as a nation, where will you say we are?
Well, I'll just say 30% because, everything on the farm, everything goes back to having the right channel. And the quality of food that we get on our table from the chef, it's absolutely not the best. Tomatoes are always rotten before they get to the market. The rice are not well packed. And some of these items are already damaged. When you have a farm produce, are being sent around and they spent over 2 days on the road due to bad roads, security challenges, not even in the cargo problem as well too. So you begin to understand that after all said and done, what is left for the market women to sell to those that are going to take it on the table is already destroyed. And yesterday we had a symposium where we had doctors, farmers, and everybody from every field and just talk about what hunger is. And doctor was making us understand that it's not just about the food; it's about how quality the food is, and also at the end of the day. And he said that the shelf life of humans starts around 40 years. But unfortunately, because of the food that we consume here, when you check, your health system, you begin to understand that even at that 40 years, because of what you have been taking, it's already, depleted. So we just need to, do things the right way, not just anyhow, because anyhow will lead to having anyhow results. And that's not what we want at this point in time. This is 2024. We need to, do things just the right way. Just like that top, the theme for the year. It was not just put there. It was well coined for us to address all those issues. A lot of people say, okay, well, I'll give you food, I'll do that. But it's beyond that. It's beyond, eating well. It's also about having the right food to eat and also having a nutritionist to tell you that these are the things that have to combine together for you to have a very good health. But unfortunately, things are very, very important. We don't see them as important. People will be hungry and they don't want to admit that they're hungry. A lot of people are going hungry right about now. But because of the, being, that pride, because not everybody will come and say, oh, I'm hungry, I need something to eat. A lot of people go hungry just because they don't want to admit they are. And unfortunately, it's not about what you put on, it's not about how you look, it's about what you're going through and also what you're thinking here.
Very important. In fact, just to give statistics, the report, according to FAO, says that over 733 million people go to bed hungry, and over 2.8 billion people in the world cannot afford a healthy diet. And these are critical issues that one needs to look at, because how healthy a diet is also talk about how the functionality of your system within at the end of the day, and that begins from even the early childhood, and whatever you eat as a child also has its impact growing up. But we've talked about the problems. Let's look at perhaps solutions. When you're talking about the chain, what do we do? Because there's also the climate issue, also challenging this matter. There's also the matter of insecurity. When you look at these two dynamics, is there a way we can insulate our food system from all of this?
Well, the solutions are not far-fetched, only that we're not applying it. First and foremost, I think the government needs to come out big and support farmers. And supporting farmers is not just supporting them. It's about 3 or 4 ways to do that. Farmers cannot go to banks and say they want loan, even if they are giving good loan to also produce quite well. The interest, the collateral being asked are not affordable, are not easy for them to just say this is it. And so government needs to look in that area and look at what farmers need. The tools, technology is now it. If you get good technology, foods that are produced under 2 or 3 months, would be produced under 2 months and still have that quality that you need in it. So fertilizers, pesticide needs to provide, for them, and also technology. Then beyond that, our road network needs to work upon. Once you are moving from point A to destination C or D, how long will it take? It's supposed to take like 16 hours, but unfortunately, because the roads are bad, it takes over 2 days, and then the quality of those food have already reduced. So that needs to be worked on. Then most importantly, security. Farmers cannot easily go from their house to the farm. There's kidnapping, there's banditry. So all of this needs to be looked into. So once we're able to do all of that, I tell you for free, a lot of things will be sorted, just by default. Then also, like I've said, our educational system, we need to integrate, adequate practice, not just, the theory aspect. The practical aspect also need to be taught in secondary schools, primary schools, and what have you. So by then, a lot of people pick interest naturally in doing the basic things. So government needs to create a lot of policies around it, and also those that the wholesales, those that have a lot of food in bulk, in box, and also all the supermarkets who also sell food. I think they can create a tax base for them where they know that food that are already out of shelf life, or nearing their shelf life, can be disbursed to NGOs, government entities that can also distribute them and give it to those that need them. If you can also do that for them, it encourages those guys to always give those things out and not them just waste. In the end, when they waste, it already go back, like you said, greenhouse. It's a problem we're also facing now. It depletes the ozone layer, causes a lot of environmental damage and hazard, and then just because we want to get good food.
How about storage? That's one aspect we don't look at.
Of course, nobody cares about that. Number one, thank God that there is always adequate supply of electricity right about now. Unfortunately, the grids are down, but at least that can happen once in a while. But if you also have adequate cargo system and also storage, then we preserve and also elongate the shelf life of those food. Unfortunately, all of those things are not important to so many people, except those that are really walking around our field. Even those that are walking around our field don't understand the basic things that needs to be done. So if we can always look at all of these things together, I tell you, we'll have a lot of last solution. And finally, we have about over 700 local governments across Nigeria. Why not sell every local government to have their own farm? Okay, farm. Where, easily they can always produce for their own local governments. And I think it is made mandatory that you have to have a farm around you, because we have the land, not that we don't have it. So if we also practice from our local government, then
that's where the subnationals come in.
It the pressure on the federal government.
Perhaps this is also a time we should be looking into international partnerships, especially when you look at other countries. You mentioned earlier about inculcating or bringing back agriculture in some of these schools. I remember a few years back, you still have students who go to the school with cutlasses and all other tools too. But I'm not sure we still have that till today. So in terms of education, continued awareness as regards food security in the country, how do we explore international partnerships? Well,
I'm talking about international partnership. They are always ready to help. It's only that a lot of us don't, look for that, right channel to work with international organizations.
Individually?
Yeah, individual as well too. If you start practicing farming and you have proof for it, you're doing it the right way, there's a structure for it, then you have access to grants outside of the country. They're ready to that. In fact, a lot of grants that come to Nigeria now is from that sector. So individuals that have interest, not just, I want to just get grant, because a lot of people are that. But if we have that interest and well-structured, farming farm, then there is access to that. Our government also needs to start collaborating in that area with international bodies, because the government would, it's easy for them to collaborate with international bodies than individuals. NGOs also need to find a way to just look away beyond just feeding people. There should be a sustainable, program that is going to be there, that everybody can have interest in farming. And if everybody doesn't have interest, then at least the majority can also do that. A lot of people are unemployed now, but they don't know that even inside your own room, or even the backyard, you can start up something. That's one thing that we as Food Click are trying to do in collaborating with individuals across board communities, where we try to preach the gospel of sustainable agriculture.
Unfortunately, our time is up. Yes, we have such a short time. But we must thank you, Adetola Faruk, Chief Operating Officer and Head of Programs at Food Click Support Initiative. Thank you so much for your time and for what you do.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Good
you.
to be here.